All right, so this is show me your work variables on both sides. So we're going to do these first four together. The rest of them you will do totally on your own, but the answer key is below right here for you. So you just got to show your work on how to get these answers, okay? So I have these checklists written out on mine. You don't have it on yours, but you can always use it as a reference after watching this video or using the answer key that is on Google Classroom. So, as always, when we are solving an equation, balance bar first. We're going to check for parentheses. We do not have a parentheses, so we do not have to worry about that. Then we're going to check if we can combine like terms. Well, we most certainly can do that. Now, the left side does not have any like terms, so everything gets brought down. However, the right side, we have 2 and 5 and 7. 2 plus 5 plus 7 gives us 14. That 6 does not change. So those are the only like terms. Our variable's on both sides, so we need to get it on one side, okay? So what I'm going to do, you can either subtract the 6r or you can subtract the 4r. It does not matter. I'm going to subtract the 4r and see how I line it up. That's what you want. That way you know, hey, these are gone. We're just left with that -2. 14 hasn't changed, right? Because it doesn't get minused. But now we have 6r minus 4r. Well, that gives us plus 2r. We got to move the constant, which is 14. So I'm going to subtract that 14 on both sides. This leaves us with 2r equals -16. I'm going to move the coefficient. I'm going to divide 2 on both sides, which gives me -8 equals r. That's the first one. Second one, balance bar. We have parentheses, so let's deal with that. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 gives us a plus 9m. Nothing else had a parentheses, so I'm going to bring everything else down. We do not have any like terms, right? Not on the black side or the purple side, but we do have to get the variable on one side. So I'm going to subtract the 8m from both sides, and again I line it up so I know that these cancel and we're left with that 20 equals that 18. 9 minus m is a plus 1m. However, we do not have to write a 1. Okay? It's just one of those things. You don't have to write a 1 in front of an m. If you do, that's okay. You just might give yourself a little extra step. We have a constant, so I'm going to subtract that 18 from both sides. This gives us 2 equals m. We don't have a coefficient because we're done. Now those first two, we had -8 and 2. Let's check my answer key. -8 and 2. So we were golden. Let's look at number 3. Balance bar. We do have parentheses, so let's deal with that. So 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times -7 is 49n. Equal sign. Purple. -7 times n is a -7n. -7 times 4 is a -28. Be careful with your signs. There's no combining like terms. However, there is getting the variable on one side. So I'm going to add 7n to both sides. I know these go away, which leaves us with that -28. 14 is also still there, but -49 plus 7 is going to give us a -42n. 49 has a bigger number, so I'm going to use its negative sign. Bigger number, use its negative sign. And then 49 minus 7 would give me 42. All right, now I'm going to move my constant, which is a 14. So I'm going to subtract that 14 on both sides. This leaves us with a -42n equals -42. And then I have a coefficient, so I'm going to move my coefficient and divide by -42 on both sides. And a negative 42 divided by a negative 42 is a positive 1. 4. We do have parentheses, so let's deal with that. All right, so we got a negative 8 on this side that we're multiplying, so that gives me a negative 8b. A negative 8 times a negative 5 is a plus 40. Then we have a negative 4 times b, which is a negative 4b. A negative 4 times a 4 is a negative 16, but I bring down that minus 8b. It doesn't change. Then I check for combining like terms, which I do have to do, because negative 4b and a negative 8b, so negative 4b plus a negative 8b is a negative 12b. So I get a negative 12b. Minus 16 comes down. Make sure your b's and your 6's look different. I got to get my variable on one side. So I'm going to add this 12b and again line it up with the other variable on the other side. This leaves us with negative 16 plus 40 and 4b. Negative 8b plus 12b is a 4b. All right, then I'm going to move my constant, so I'm going to subtract that 40. That's my constant with the variable, which gives me 4b equals negative 56. I'm going to move the coefficient, so I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides, which gives me b equals negative 14. All right, let's check. So 3 we had 1, 14 we had a negative, 4 we had a negative 14. Good, good. So the rest you're going to do on your own, okay? The first two that you do on your own are like number 1. Then you got the next two are more like number 2, and so on and so forth, okay? All right, everyone, you have the rest to do. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.